of today's performance?
Really pleased. Listen, I think when you have a bad afternoon as we did last week, the response has got to be there and just win a game of football. You know what I mean? I think you've got to show that response. You know, we're fortunate in a sense where I've worked with these boys a long time. You know, we went through things with a successful season last season, and it's been a bit tougher this season for loads of reasons. I think the time to reflect on this season is at the end of the season, not now, but at the minute we've got a job to do just to make sure we look after the club and do things properly and try and finish the season strong. So we knew the importance of today's game, and I thought we set about the task with a bit of verve, a bit of purpose. Tried to ask the question of Motherwell. I thought we were a better team slightly, even against 11 men, and obviously I thought we were just very professional after that. We obviously can breathe a bit easier when we get the second goal, and I thought that as much as you would like to have maybe pushed on and get one or two more, I think in the context of the game it was important that we tried to get a clean sheet, just bit by bit gain a bit more confidence, and I think the influence of certain ones today was clear. I think having Stuart Finlay back was massive for us, you know, and I think his calmness, experience, his leadership qualities definitely helps us. It's no secret, it's no big coincidence we get a clean sheet today with him there. I thought Mackenzie's experience was terrific. Gutted for Rory, he's had to come off. We had it in mind that he might need to come off 60-65 minutes, so we were actually just thinking of maybe taking him off, but he was having such an influential game that, and he looked as if he'd been enjoying it, and he says he felt fine as well, so it's just something that's he's going to have to deal with now. It doesn't look great, to be honest, but we'll see how he is tomorrow morning. And even having Vassell on the bench, you know, just in terms of aesthetics of being in the dressing room before the game, I think is important. So we've picked a team today. We've made some changes from last week. Very few players. Nobody really could have any complaints if they weren't playing from last week. So it was all about trying to focus on this week. And I've watched closely this week how we've been in training. I'd said to the players, I'm going to look at the day's training all week, just as if it's my first day in the job, just watching you. I need to see the personality. I need to see the ones who are not going to be fazed by the situation. And I heard you asking Joe a question there about the confidence and dealing with the pressure type games. We've always done that, to be honest. We've always dealt with that game. It's not something you want. Last year was a different type of pressure. The year before was something similar, but I actually think we've got a stronger squad of players to deal with what's ahead of us. So it's a good 3 points. It's no more than that, but I think on the context from last week's game, it feels a bit more than that, and it's important that the players feel good about themselves again. Because they're no all that, we're no brilliant, and we haven't been brilliant this season. We've had some good highlights and some good moments, and it's my job and the players' job to try and deliver more of that for the supporters between now and the end of the season.
Just on Rory, it was his first start since August. Obviously he's one of these guys that any Kilmarnock manager has been able to depend upon over the last 10 years. I presume you'll be very much hoping that he is available again between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, Rory's probably suffered a bit more than others. We've tried to develop David Watson this season. He's had a lot of games. We've looked at other permutations in midfield. He's had 1 or 2 wee injuries this season, Rory, but by and large he's been available. Last Sunday, after a meeting, that any time you have a result like that, you don't sleep the Saturday night. You're in the Sunday. You're having to go through the post-mortem and the meetings. It's not the type of meetings you want as a manager, and you try to keep them at a minimum. But there are meetings that have to sometimes have as you go through your career. And I watched training right after the meeting, and Mackenzie was outstanding. And as you say, his history with this club is a lot longer than mine. And he knows the club, and he's been in difficult situations before. And I just watched all week. I'd let him know in the early part of the week that we were thinking about him for Saturday, and he's just been pretty, just a safe pair of hands, a bit of experience, and I thought we had that today. I thought Bobby and Bruce never get his goal today, and Bobby never got a goal, but I thought the two of them, particularly when they went down to 10 men, you know, they ran the 2 centre-backs, and it was actually a good game for them to be involved in. And I thought Bruce particularly did everything but score a goal, but you know, like all good strikers, you get in your car after the game, it's not the same 3 points if you've no scored, and he's probably one of the ones like that, but he played his part today, as did others. I think some of the lads had their best game for a while, and I thought Fraser Murray and Danny were a constant threat. So like I say, it was a wee bit more like us, and we need to be something. Last week we were too easy to play against, that's what we were. This week I thought we were professional, harder to play against, and just really efficient. And sometimes in the season that's all you need to be. Scottish football demands that you don't make mistakes, you're trustworthy, you're responsible, and I thought we were that today.
What was the issue with Mayo, and what was your view on the 2 red cards?
The first red card I hadn't seen live, I'd just seen the aftermath of it. Fraser got down because I've watched the ball, and I think all I would say in that one, only the boy Balmer knows if that's really intentional. It doesn't look pretty, to be honest, having watched it. But only he knows. We can all surmise and we can all assume, but it's quite a nasty follow through, and Fraser's been lucky. The second one, I cannot for the life of me how that's overturned. It's a slam dunk. It's a WWF move. He's very fortunate. You know, I don't know how they've overturned that, to be honest, but they have. It didn't play a part. I thought there was a lot of drama going about, and we just needed to stay calm and stay professional, and thankfully we didn't get involved in that.
And on Mayo, what was it?
Sorry, Lewis has just got a wee bit of swelling in his knee, just a collision, so it's no he's like overstretched or damaged. I think half time wasn't great for him because it just stiffens up, and he stayed on the bike. Him and Stu were fighting for the bike to keep his legs moving. But I think Mayo, I think he'll be okay. I'm pretty sure that it's nothing too sinister.
What did you reckon, Rory McInnes? You know, said he had an injury. What's that about?
It's thigh. I spoke to Rory just before I come up to press. I think he's a wee bit concerned about it, to be honest. I think he felt it go pretty bad, to be honest. So it might be his thigh, but we'll wait and see on a scan. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.